Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome back to Celestial Oracle Code. So, this message found you, okay? Because your spirit has already been sensing something, and something has been changing, something ending, something approaching, something quietly shifting, one way or another. Your spirit may be sensing something shifting beneath the surface of your life. And even if you could not fully explain it, you felt it. You may not have had proof yet, may not have had the full answer, and you may not have known exactly what was changed. But your nervous system knew. You may not have had the full answer, but your intuition knew. And as things have shifted slowly but surely, some more quicker than others, it's like the energy shifted before the physical reality did. And today's message is confirmation. You are not imagining it. And you felt this coming for a reason. Okay. So, the most important thing before we get, and let's just get some of our storyline going so I know where we're going, right? Need to know where we're going. All right, all right. So there's a clear message. There's actually, this is like a dual message, is what I'm feeling from this energy. So, as always, this is a general collective reading. So please only take what resonates with your spirit, your heart, and your real life situation. Because this reading is guidance, not guaranteed prediction, and you always have free will, and your discernment matters more than fear, fantasy, or emotional urgency. Take a deep breath and ground yourself into the here and now, and let your spirit recognize what is meant for you. So, the energy around the collective feels deeply transitional. Even here, we see a transition of the dark and light. We see the mass of this of the Hodag, and then we see the dark matter and lightness behind it. So this is like primordial forces coming together to create something unseen in your life. This feels like standing between two versions of your life. One chapter has already ended energetically, even if parts of it still exist physically. And another chapter is quietly approaching, even if it has not fully arrived yet. That in between space can feel strange. You may feel emotionally different, more sensitive, less attached to old patterns, tired of chaos, disconnected from certain people, emotionally clear, more protective of your peace, recalibrated to peace, and less willing to force things. Confirmation received. Thank you, Most High. And some of you may have noticed what once excited you no longer feels aligned. Because your spirit already knows you can't carry old energy into the next phase. So, what you felt coming was the growth of your consciousness, the growth into higher levels while anchoring in the lower duality of this frequency and dimension. So, what you felt coming was the collapse of an old cycle. One way was the old way, and the new, slightly branching out more, realizing more, more enlightened, more empowered, more involved way is forming. And ultimately, both are being grounded through the truth that splits the two. So this is not punishment, not abandonment, not failure, but a shift, a release, a separation from what no longer matches who you are becoming. And some of you felt relationships changing, karmic cycles ending, emotional a distance growing. Okay? I'm hearing hidden truths surfacing for some of you, your standards rising for most of you, and spiritual protection activating for all of you. Beautiful. So old attachments are weakening and a new timeline is forming here. And even though your logical mind kept asking, what exactly is happening? Right? What's the difference? Your soul kept answering, something is changing. Be prepared. And because spiritually the shift happened before the evidence appeared, your spirit is asking you to walk in faith as 555. I'm seeing in my mind's eye the celestial code 555. So that's divine assistance mixed with maybe some change, some blessings in disguise that you are associating with conflict in your life. Okay, so that's for some of you. But ultimately, the ending result in the 555 expression and the ultimate amplification through the 3 5s is that some change is coming into your life. It may feel emotionally taxing or like some upheaval has entered or exited your life, but ultimately this is to majorly transform and improve your life. 555 energy that culminates here back into the 6, which is an amplification of divine love, of divine abundance in your life, of seeing the love that is all around you, that grows inside of you, and giving, reciprocating that love to others, and being the unconditional love that has always helped you to thrive and do so much more than survive. Wow. So Spirit keeps saying, don't panic in the transition, because many of you interpreted the in-between space as uncertainty when it was actually preparation, right? You were being prepared, and some doors had to close emotionally before new doors could open physically. So that's what a lot of this has been. It's been closing down the emotional stagnation, closing down the relationships and patterns that no longer serve you, closing down the people who would deceive or bring chaos and confusion into your life, right? The people who would go out of their way to try and hurt another. It doesn't matter what their circumstance or what their reasoning is. If you found reasons in your life to justify your unjustifiable actions or unforgivable actions or undictated actions, and you have projected that onto others, it does not matter what your reasoning is, be that physical pain or otherwise. And that pain that you're trying to inflict in any form on another is coming from a conflicted, inflicted, or damaged, traumatized, or triggered side, emotionally charged side of you, then that is healing and shadow work that you need to do. And you don't get a pass because you felt like you deserved this retribution or you deserve to be judge and jury over someone else's life, because at the end of the day, that brings in the Most High to be judge and jury over your life. So I don't know who needs to hear this coming through, but that's a big message for all involved. This is a message for the entire collective. This is how the Most High works. And so when we try to pray for the downfall of others, it brings a downfall and recognition of our own weaknesses in our life. And when we look at all that others have done to us and we feel like we're free and clear of any wrongdoing, especially in light of what we feel another has done to us, then it magnifies, intensifies, and amplifies whatever we've done to others in our lives, so that we can grow and heal like we have shown the universe and the Most High that we need to. So that's a powerful message coming through for the collective at this time, as things shift from left to right, or as things grow into the higher light. That's the message coming through here. Because many of you interpreted the in-between space as uncertainty, and it wasn't. You know, some doors had to close it. Some doors had to close it. Okay, some doors are coming closer because you have been obedient, and I don't like to use that word, but honestly, you listened, okay? You listened and you did what was best for you. Let's say that. And ultimately, now it's unfolding into, right, doors that are closing for you. So maybe the level is rising, right? We talked about that before in previous readings, and we talked about the level needing to rise so that things can become balanced, so that you can flow in and out of whatever you need to in this life. So ultimately, this is like the rising. And so some doors had to close emotionally before the new doors could open physically. And ultimately, this means that even if the doors aren't apparent and open for you, something is becoming apparent to you that it is closer than it was before. What a powerful message in that. Okay, so some attachments had to weaken before peace could strengthen. Three energy shows the ascended masters. The cape shows that there's a superhero energy here, right? There's amplified spiritual power here that is focused on the greater good or serving humanity. And I love that. Some attachments, okay, had to just show their true colors, right? Some illusions had to dissolve before clarity could arrive. So ultimately, what this shows us is that some versions of you had to die before the next version could fully emerge and rise. And that is why your intuition became louder than recently. Your spirit was preparing you emotionally before life changed, before your circumstances changed externally. 1111 energy. So right now with 1111 code, and oh my gosh, I'm being bombarded by celestial codes right now. But at the end of the day, 555 coming out with 1111 just in the apex of my mind's eye. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. But ultimately, what I'm seeing is I'm seeing 555 in a blaze of fire, almost like a bonfire that got set to some kind of like 555 mural or something. And it's burning so brightly and it's just glistening like Burning Man. And so that lets me know that a major transformation that is activated through not only soul ties, soul evolution, but also passion, following passions, binding, drive, transmutation, and alchemization, and ultimately things transforming, whether that be in the physical, emotional, right? Alchemizing emotions, alchemizing thought patterns, alchemizing and restoring the central nervous system. And so this is the fire is like a transmutation of any of those aspects where this that I thought was lower vibrational or of a lower state got transmuted or alchemized into a higher state and is now propelling me forward to a new state or space. And I'm hearing level in life. Okay, wow, what a beautiful message. So with that hero, right, energy and the praying mantis kind of energy, look at that. It's like hero praying mantis. So there's an element to defending ourselves, but defending others, standing up for what we believe in and having the strength and the courage to do it alone if we have to, but not being afraid to utilize and functionally integrate all that we need. That includes people, places, and things that will propel us forward on our path and do what is best for the collective as a whole. So, I keep hearing you're moving from survival into alignment. That's what this is, right? Praying mantises are very about survival. And superheroes are a lot about alignment, restoring the alignment of the collective, restoring the alignment of peace and justice over criminalistic activity, behavior, and wrongdoing, restoring the light over the dark, restoring the higher vibration over the lower vibration, restoring the cosmocentrism over the egocentrism. I'm hearing restoring compassion over narcissism. And I love that. Restoring forgiveness over hate and resentment. Beautiful. So this is the next season. This is what it feels like. You know, he might not be the cutest thing, but he's calm. Does he not look calm? He looks like he's just sitting there. He looks like he's never had a care in the world. He looks like he's almost looking at you like, why are you so worried? What is it about? I have light and dark all around me, and I'm completely at peace and at ease, right? So the next season coming here, see, it feels calmer, it feels clearer, it feels more stable, more intentional, more emotionally mature, more spiritually protected. And some of you are entering healthier relationships, financial stabilization, creative rebirth. Spiritual clarity is what this is calling to, what it's looking at. It's looking at your emotional healing, right? Where it doesn't matter how much light and darkness around you. It's like, hey, I'm here and I chose to be here, so I'm gonna relax and chillax here and be aligned right here, emotionally and spiritually, with clarity and healing. I love this. So this is purpose alignment and new opportunities as clear as day, because that is the only thing that aligns you in that way. Beautiful. Thank you, Most High. This is restored confidence in your life. I love that. So you're beginning to trust yourself again, and that changes everything. What you need to release now, Chichanera energy. Chichanera energy. Let me explain something to you about the Chichanera here, guys, and then I'll give you the direct channel message. But this is, it's as ugly as it looks. And let me tell you something. They live in like embankments and waters, and this is one of those higher vibration, not higher vibrational beings, but a higher dimensional being, right? So you aren't gonna just see these stripes around in the lower third, right? This is what some nightmares are made of. And there are, okay, and we know if we are parts of those cultures who this belongs to. It's called La Chichanera, right? And it, okay, builds it builds its hunting ground in the riverbeds and things like that. So it has this silken substance that it wraps its prey up, this thing in Chichanera, in its kind of saliva, and it turns into this silken web thing that's almost like rubber cement. It's gross. So then it hangs it in the water, right? That's how it preserves whatever it has killed. So this is about focusing on your desires, and this card fully represents going after what you want. Okay, I know it's a little gruesome story, and it's gonna get a little worse here, but because there's messages in the way this animal or this creature, this ether creature, survives, thrives, and ultimately can deter its own nourishment and fulfillment in life. So there's a message here in that. I think we all know. So let me break it down. Because the Chichanera does this magnificent kind of hunting thing, right? It finds prey, it stalks it, it does whatever it needs. It fixates on the thing that it truly desires, and it's almost like I don't take no confirmation received. I don't take no for an answer energy. I'm telling you guys, this is that energy. It also has the energy of predatory, right? So it knows what it wants. It's calculated. It waited for it. It watched it, right? It kind of stalked it a little bit. It found out where it goes and where it is. And then it pounced, and then it gave it that rubber cement, like saliva membrane thing. It wrapped it up, and then it like suffocates it in there, and it puts it in the water for preservation. So there's also something here about scarcity basedness, right? After what we receive, after the abundance flows through, after we find that thing that we want, after we've done all the things that it takes to preserve that in our lives, don't get so scarcity based that you try to hold on, or that you try to suffocate, I'm hearing, the growth and the movement and the ease and flow in your life. Wow. Because we get so fixated on what we might lose, or like the Chichanera, right? You want to know why it does that river thing? Well, it's because it doesn't know where the next meal is coming from. So sometimes the only way that you will even know that one of these things is around you is you'll start tripping and falling all over the corpses and bodies that it has wrapped up in, and in all types of ways, where you're tripping over it and falling in streams and everything, and then you just see a dead body in the water that's like wrapped in this whatever it is. And so that's what this gives. It gives not wrapping things up and not putting them away and not letting them stagnate, not letting them get dusty because you were so afraid that nothing else was going to come through, or there was no other nurturing and sustenance coming through for you. So this is about the abundance of the universe and incorporating that into your life, but also going after your dreams and figuring out what you want in this life, and then pursuing them relentlessly while believing that it's going to be for you, but releasing it when it needs to be, so that what is new can come to you. A beautiful message for the collective. That is beautiful, you guys. You guys. Oh my gosh, that makes me want to cry. So release the belief that peace is boring simply because your nervous system became used to chaos, you know? Release the old version of yourself that believed suffering was necessary for love, success, or purpose, because it's not. It's not. You don't need everybody to like you, and that's okay. And you can have whoever you want lie about you, and that's their deal, right? With the creator, with this life, with the alignment in the universe, because that's what they're against when they do that. You need to understand something. This is a universe built around sound, vibration, confirmation, receive, frequency, and all of the things that you feel are invisible, and they are unforeseen forces that are moving and flowing and adjusting your life. And so I don't want you to feel like the spiritual laws that have been rotating and flexing this universe the entire time are not the same principles and the same fundamental laws that are aspects and flowing through your life. Okay, so that's a powerful message for someone coming through. Release the attachment to the outcome, release the scarcity based mindset, right, where we're holding on to things that become that go from nurturing us to probably poisoning us, is also this energy. So, release the old version of yourself that believes suffering was necessary for love and success or purpose, and because your spirit is learning something powerful now. Alignment does not feel like constant emotional warfare, and it doesn't feel like someone who feels like they get away with doing whatever they want to you because they felt like they were mistreated in any way. I don't care who you are or how mistreated you feel like you were, it will never give you the justifiable cause or the right to cause harm in any shape, way, or form, especially physical. I love that, fickle. So especially fickle too. No fickle harm and no physical harm, okay? In anyone's life. It gives no one any right. And if you feel like you were a person who had that, right? Who's been in that situation where, oh, I get to do this thing that I wouldn't normally do because this thing that doesn't normally happen to me in my eyes makes it okay for me, well, then that part of this message was for you. Now, the alignment does not feel like constant emotional warfare. It just doesn't. So real alignment brings peace, period. There's no way you're going to align because you finally take justified actions against someone that you felt like, when you take justice into your own hands, then you are openly accepting the nurturing aspects of your life to become the toxic aspects, where what once nurtured you, right, the food in the water, becomes the decay in the water that poisons you. So that is a message that's coming through. The direct channel message, my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soul. You felt this coming because your spirit already knew the old chapter could not continue. Okay? So you were sensing the shift before your mind understood it. You're emotionally preparing for a new timeline before the door physically opened. And now, the old energy is losing its hold on you. And I love you unconditionally. I send you all my love, my blessings, my peace, my light, my everything to help you through this direct next step in your life. Your standards are changing. Your peace is becoming sacred. And that's a sacred truth. And your intuition is becoming sharper, and your discernment is becoming stronger too. And what once felt impossible to release is no longer holding the same power over your spirit and your life. And that is such a beautiful blessing coming through for you, my beautiful. This is my spiritual family at this time. It's coming through to rectify, to bust the chains, to break down the walls and the boundaries and all the lies. I cannot stress that enough at this aligned time. So something new is approaching. That's what that means. That's the energy it gives. Right? Something calmer, something clearer, something more aligned. And deep down, you already know it though. You know it. I don't mean superficial know it. I don't mean the candid know it. I don't mean the narcissist know it, right? Because they try to know fake things. They try to know that they aren't guilty because someone else was. They try to know they don't have to apologize because someone else did. They try to know they weren't wrong because there were two wrongs in the situation. They try to know that they are emotionally secure or in control because they're emotionally immature and unavailable. We don't want that kind of knowing, right? We want deep, intuitive, divine, spiritual knowing. And so deep down, you already know what I'm about to say. You already know, my sovereign beings, and this is your sovereign guidance. So if you've ever been in my readings, or if you're a real subscriber on my channel and you found me because you are the light, you see the light, or the light walks with you, okay? Then these are the ones I'm talking to now. And if you found this part of this reading, then this entire reading is for you. Now, it doesn't, you can take whatever energy and flip and reverse it unless you're a narcissist, because that's only one energy coming through one way. You don't get to have narcissistic tendencies on this channel and not be the epitome of what I'm talking about in that situation on any given day. So that's a powerful message coming through as well. The sovereign guidance right now here for all of you, my loves, is do not rush the unfolding of your life. Please, don't return to the old cycle simply because the new chapter is still forming. Don't return to complacency. Don't return to, oh, I thought they cared and now they're acting differently, but it's about to be the same misery. Don't return. You don't confuse temporary uncertainty with spiritual abandonment, because that's not what's happening to you. And don't ignore your intuition simply because your physical reality is not caught up yet. Your spirit noticed the shift before your eyes could confirm it. So you need to trust that. I'm holding space for you. I love each and every one of you unconditionally. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soul. If this reading found you, let this be your guide and confirmation. You were not overthinking. You were not imagining it. You were not being dramatic. You were sensing the shift before it fully arrived. Because your spirit knew something had to change. Something had to give, and it was giving way for you. And now the old cycle is losing power. And anyone who is a part of that feels like they have power, that is in opposition to your power, well, this is the cycle and phase, right? This is it, where they get to rise into a new expression of their conscious awareness or permanently sit. Now, the new chapter is approaching, and your life is quietly realigning itself behind the scenes. Whether or not they know that, that's on them. Okay? And the celestial king. So, you felt this coming because your soul was already preparing you for what comes next. And as always, I love you. I honor you. I appreciate each and every one of you who blesses me by letting me read your energy and stays in this place, or gives this the element and energy of a true sacred space by being here with me. And for that, I am eternally grateful, and I love each and every one of you individually, unconditionally. And I send you all my light and my love and my blessings. And I will see you in my next video.